Post-match thoughts with Omer. How you guys are doing? Thank you for tuning in as always. If you enjoyed my last video of post-match thoughts after Bournemouth, well, you've got another one today regardless if you liked it or not. Anyway, Millwall played Bournemouth tonight. We drew 1-1 away from home at Dean Court. And I think the undertone from that game for me anyway is we was unlucky not to win that game today. I thought, from start to finish, we just seemed to get things right. The game we played quite well. And I think, unfortunately for us, we came against a Bournemouth side that, Dominic Solanke took his goal well in the first half on the stroke of half-time, might I add. And I think in reality for that is, Bournemouth, high-scoring team in the division. We've got to put a bit of perspective on the performance and think, you know what, we've gone there today, played a game of football against them and actually done well. At least I thought we did anyway. So we'll go straight into what the lineup was today. Manager Gary Wright went for Bart in goal, Bielkowski obviously. Back five, no surprises there. McNamara right back. You got Pearce, Hutchinson, and Cooper. Left wing back was Scott Malone. Midfield pairing of Woods and Leonard continued from the weekend. Jed Wallace, Parrott, and Kenta Hall up front. So just the one change from the Bournemouth game. I think the club tweeted out it was 6 changes in total from the last league game against Coventry. Obviously, 5 at the back is obviously something we've had the last couple of games now. And to be fair to Rowett, I think, especially against Bournemouth, I think they play 5 at the back as well today. And, in recent games, they've done that as well. So I think it was a no-brainer, really, to go for that formation. And it worked. I think, we played, to a T, every player on the pitch done well today. And I think performance was there. I think, through the team, unfortunate for us, Jed Wallace had an opportunity in the first half, which I'll get onto in a moment. But the game started well. I think, I was a bit wary of the likes of David Brooks and obviously Dominic Solanke up front. And I think in the first 5 minutes, Brooks is skipping past the likes of Hutchinson and Cooper and making it look easy, really. I was kind of fearing the worst. I think I put a tweet out before the game saying, this is either going to end 5-0 today or 1-0 to Millwall. So, I was close in the sense that we scored 1 goal. After that opportunity, I think, first thing that kind of struck my mind was McNamara right back. I think, not necessarily my man of the match today, but, just composure on the ball, played it well, nicely, and what you notice is when McNamara takes the touch, he takes the touch, plays the ball to Hutchinson, and Hutchinson's taking the touch and also taking his time on the ball. And I think, if you're Marlon Romeo right now, you'd be dreading when you're next going to get a look in at the moment, because if you're keeping players in based on form, McNamara's not going to lose his shirt on the weekend after tonight's performance. About 10 minutes in, I thought we was pressing up high on the pitch. We didn't really give Bournemouth a chance to kind of get out their own half at times, and I thought it was quite refreshing. Obviously, Brooks and Solanke showed real quality, and I was a bit wary of that, which we actually saw in their first goal. But, there was, I think, a moment in the first half where, Brooks slips through Solanke and he's managed to drag it out wide and get a shot away. And I think, that shows the threat that Bournemouth have. But I think we contained them to a minimum because, like I said, the top goal scorers in the league this year, and they didn't really have too many opportunities, especially at home. I think, it's a lot's got to be said about that for Millwall. And I think, when I think of other players on the pitch, Ryan Leonard had a good game. I think what he does well is when he gets the ball, he looks to run forward with it. He's not necessarily great on the ball. If you ask him to ping the ball 70 yards like Woods can, 9 times out of 10, Woods will get it there. Probably for Leonard, it's probably 6 times out of 10. And that shows, I think, when he gets the chance to play the ball. But if you give him the chance just to run forward with it, cause havoc, defenders are scared of him because he's actually quite quick with the turn of speed as well. And I think that showed today. I think, one thing that really scares me is Jake Cooper on the ball. I think we need to move away from this kind of idea that Jake Cooper can play with his feet now, because he definitely can't. A couple of times he got caught out, especially the second half, that I think Bournemouth almost counted on us and actually needed to score the goal. We'll talk about the first opportunity Mill really had today. I think Ryan Woods it was who, picked the ball up from deep, spread the ball straight through the middle between the 3 defenders, and obviously Jed Wallace races away on goal. I'd back him to score it 9 times out of 10. I think, recently, obviously, his form's dipped. A lot of people being critical, saying if that's Bodvarsson, we wouldn't hear the end of it. And the reality is, Wallace should have scored that. It's unfortunate he didn't score it. But I also tweeted after the game today, if he did score that and we went up at half-time, would we have seen the second half performance we did? I'm a bit cynical in that sense, because I think if we was 1-0 up at half-time, we would have sat back second half, tried to defend the lead, kept Pearce on the pitch, who eventually came off, and I think we would have basically tried to see out the game. And if I'm honest with you, against the likes of Bournemouth, I don't think we would have saw the game out today if we was 1-0 up trying to defend the lead. Instead, we got a really good second half performance. On the stroke of half time, Solanke scores that goal. I think he, beats Pearce. I think Pearce is kind of wrong-footed, and I think it kind of highlights the real problem we've got with Alex Pearce. Undoubtedly brings leadership to the team. He kind of guides the players through it, especially in and around in the likes of Hutchinson and Cooper, especially when we're under pressure. You can non-stop hear Pearce's voice. He's constantly on the players, trying to, get everyone in line. You hear him every time there's a free kick, a set play, he's keeping the line and he's the one leading that. And you can always hear him especially even on the sidelines when he's even on the sub. So, I think unfortunately for him though, he got wrong-footed by Solanke. Solanke on his left foot beats Bielkowski at his near post. Can we be critical of Bart? A little bit. I think if, if that was another player like Jordan Archer, for example, I think we would be criticising the goalkeeper there. So I think, it's unfortunate we're in at half-time, 1-0 down. I think in reality, we should have definitely been in the game. I think we definitely should have come back in at half-time, at least 0-0. And fair play to the players. We came out second half. I think Sahor had a free kick. He obviously hit the post. I was really impressed by Ken Sahor. And I think the underlying tone from me is if he's available to sign and he's the options on our side to extend the loan, I think it's a no-brainer to extend it. I think the only issue is obviously his injury that he had, whether or not he's fully off, like shaking it off, so to speak. But I thought he looked sharp today. Criticism online of him, but maybe not looking interested. And I think also Carl Bates might have mentioned it in his commentary. But I think what we saw from him is he's got the ability to turn a player, which is important, but also take a touch under pressure, win flick-ons. I think that's important for a striker in this formation, especially one up top. And you notice that, especially when Sahor has the ball, the likes of Jed Wallace are closer to him, the likes of Parrott's closer to him, who was a bit kind of missing today, put Troy Parrott on the left-hand side of the pitch. He got hooked after about 65 minutes when we make the subs. So it might have been 70. Obviously, from there, triple substitution, Rowett, fair play to him. He brought on Matt Smith. I think he also brought on Bennett and Bodvarsson, taking off Pearce, Parrott and Sahor, and straight away Matt Smith manages to flick on from a free kick, gets a little toe poke to it, and I think Matt Smith scores goals. That's the fact of it. I think he's not going to get in the side because of this. This is the sad reality of it. If we're playing one up top, you don't want Matt Smith to be the lone striker, especially away from home. But if you have two up top, maybe get Thompson in and around him. We'd speak about Thompson not getting the opportunity. I don't think you're going to see Sahor and Smith play together. But, fair play to Matt Smith. He offers exactly what it says on the tin. He's a threat, constantly looking to get on the end of chances. And I think just by the nature of it, he'll just constantly make himself his own opportunities, especially if you put the service into him. So, yeah, I mean, overall, I was really pleased. I think, we could have maybe got away with it right at the end and maybe nicked the game. But, a point away from home at Dean Court. If you told me that before today's game that we'd take the point, I know it's another draw. I wouldn't have, complained about it, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of people will agree with me on that fact. So we go again on the weekend, Nottingham Forest away. I think, if we play the same team as we did tonight, I really think if we can go again, I think we will win it. And I think we will comfortably as well. So fingers crossed. If you've enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like. I've rambled on quite a bit. I mean, I could talk about Millwall for days. Our links in the description below to our social media pages. We're always active on Twitter, always stuff going on there. And also on Friday night, we'll be back with Friday Night Live with That Millwall podcast. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.